but guy's a serviceable player. I mean, the Heat have just done a great job. I mean, and in the end, when they win 3 straight, possibly, they're probably going to try for 4. They have a good shot at going 4. I think they probably will go 4 unless something changes catastrophically in the next few years. But it's great. It's good stuff. We're going to transition now over to talk a little bit about soccer. Most of you guys can go ahead and tune out, those who aren't into soccer. EPL is wrapping up. It's been a disastrous campaign for Manchester United. Ryan Giggs, amazing coach. I think, well, in the future, he's going to be an amazing coach, I think. He's just a great mind. He's got a lot to learn. I hope they keep him on the staff. I really, really, really hate the people who are making decisions in Manchester. I think they don't know what they're doing, and they keep trying to hide this. That's why they dump Moyes. I think Moyes, yes, Moyes wasn't ready to coach a club like United, but you don't cut him after 1 year, I don't think. I mean, look at Everton. He built a great Everton squad. A lot of people could say that it was just, within the organization and it's forever. You could say that. You could say it was forever. I mean, Everton has always had great players come from there. Rooney. I mean, they've always had great players come from that organization. But, Moyes had a disastrous year, and there was a lot of pressure on him. Woodward, the laziest piece of shit on the planet, takes you freaking 2 months to sign Fellaini, and you have to overpay for him? Lazy. Don't like that guy. Curious to see where they go now. It looks like Louis van Gaal is going to be the new coach. Curious to see who he brings in. Defensive midfielders has got to be priority number 1. It's been priority number 1 for 4 years now. Everyone's ignored it. That's why Europe has suffered for United. But that's United in a nutshell. Other than that, though, it's been a great EPL year. Some great scoring numbers. City, wow, what a great year they had. Scoring-wise, Liverpool, too. Granted, Liverpool got knocked out of every other competition they were in. They didn't have Europe at all. But they got knocked out of the FA Cup early. And they, for the first time in a long time, were able to get away from... Didn't have very many injuries that impacted the season. Did a great job. Great job, Steven Gerrard, man. One of the greatest of all time. Top 5, one of the greatest to ever play for England. Great year for him. And the thing is we looked at when they got taken over by the guy who owns the Boston Red Sox, and you saw, it was those little mid-level pickups that made the difference. Philip Coutinho failed in Milan, comes over. What does he do here? Comes an amazing attacking midfielder. Amazing. Gerrard can just focus on being the defensive player that he is. He did such a great job back in his role, being able to be in that role and just focus on that role while Coutinho did his business. He's such an amazing player. It's crazy. We think of Carroll, and we think of both those guys over at West Ham now. Who were Liverpool signed? Stuart Downing's the other guy I was thinking of. Big money transfers who didn't work out at all. Daniel Sturridge. I mean, Chelsea freaking doesn't have a striker. One of their biggest problems this year is he didn't have a striker. You let Daniel Sturridge go to Chelsea, or you let Daniel Sturridge go to Liverpool. Why? Guy's a monster. Guy was second in goals this year in the EPL. Absolute monster. He also had a lot of assists too. Granted, he had Suarez. It helps you have Suarez. I hate Suarez. He is a douche. And he will leave Liverpool in the next couple years. He will. It's destiny. He's a scumbag. That's what scumbags do. But you can't knock the talent. Kid is a sick, sick player. Phenomenal, talented player. But City had a great year. I mean, fluid football. Yaya Toure, one of the best players in the world. And it's good for him, dude. Great for him. Left Barcelona, became a primary part of Manchester City. Just an amazing player, man. Just numbers off the charts this year for him. I remember watching this fast break he had a couple weeks ago. He laid off and cut back up the field. They gave him the ball back, and then he just buried it. I was like, dude, this guy is a defensive midfielder. And he's like Patrick Vieira, except it's like he's done some crazy conditioning. And now he's just an absolute monster. Arsenal, just had another Arsenal year, qualified for Champions League, top 4, yada, yada, yada. Same old, same old. Don't know if they'll ever change. They're like the Dallas Cowboys. Always going to just, barely get it done. And that's it. They have some great players, too. Aaron Ramsey. Granted, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. Aaron Ramsey doesn't go down. Might be a different story. Aaron Ramsey was the heart and soul early on for them when they were doing well. When they were on top of the EPL. He was the guy. But we just had a phenomenal year. Tottenham, one of the youngest squads in the EPL. Had an amazing year. Great. I mean, they're going to be great for years to come. Not sure who their coach is going to be. If it's going to be the kid from Ajax. They're going to keep Sherwood. I think they should give Sherwood a shot. The guy's done a great job. He's done a great job, and he's implemented playing the young guys, like Harry Kane. Harry Kane's going to be a badass. If you look at the guys, the players that came in through transfers, I think Christian Eriksen is the guy. For the value they got him in, Christian Eriksen is going to be one of the best players in the world. He's going to be one of the best players in the world. He is such a unique player. If you've ever seen that guy on free kicks, on crosses, he's got that laser beam cross. He's an amazing player. And he's gonna be there for a long. I think he's gonna be there for a long time. They got him cheap too. They got him really cheap. And again, common theme: mid-level pickups in the EPL. Mid-level pickups ended up being the difference maker. The difference maker in all. I think Chelsea. The thing about Jose Mourinho, it always takes 2 years to really establish your club again. I think when they get Diego Costa next year, bold. I'm saying bold because I'm saying it's bold to say that right now they're going to go after Diego Costa. But that's what they're going to do. It's either going to be him or Cavani. They're going to be one of those guys. But I'm going to say it's going to be Costa because Chelsea's going to offer absurd money for him. Because the kid is an absolute monster. And I think it's a good pickup for Chelsea. Chelsea needs some serious scoring up front. That's really all they need. Though, I'm curious what's going on with this whole Hazard thing. Maybe it will just die off in the next coming months. But I think that guy is also kind of a douche. Phenomenal talent, but I think he's a douche. Anyone who saw him kick that kid on that cross realized this kid was a douche. I see him going to Paris Saint-Germain one day, too. But if you look at some of the young kids that Jose has brought in for the future, like Kurt Zouma, he's going to be a monster center back. Ake, I think is his name, A-K-E. Kid's going to be good. William is going to be a great player. He's just building for the future. Real Madrid, everywhere he goes, he just builds a team for somebody else and then leaves. Jose is a special one. He is a great coach. A lot of drama around him, but the guy is a great coach. And I think he's starting to mellow out a little bit. I mean, yes, he still kind of loves the headlines and all that thing, and all that thing, but I think he's starting to mellow out a little bit. I think he is, a little bit. But Chelsea's going to be a good team next year. I think you could see them win next year. for sure. I think United's got a long way to climb still. We'll see who they end up signing. You can take everything by a grain of salt right now because the media machine is way behind United and who they're going to pick up, all these guys. I really heavily doubt that we're going to get some super monster players because we have no Europe at all this year or next year. But we'll see what happens. I think we should really focus again on that mid-level pickup if we can do it. I think if we can get Luke Shaw, that'd be a great pickup. But there's definitely some picks out there that I think we could definitely pull off that could really help the squad. But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But it was good. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. I hope you have a great Friday. Again, we got drafts tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do a weekend edition of this, the Drive to Work podcast. Because, well, first off, we have the draft tomorrow. It's going to be great. And then I'd like to talk about the June call-ups for Major League Baseball. I might bore some of you guys, but I think there's some really, really good kids we still haven't got to see. They're coming up. They have a lot of good fantasy value for some of you guys out there looking for pickups, especially on the pitching side, hitting side. We'll get that into more tomorrow. But until then, you guys have a good Sunday. Or a good Sunday. You guys have a good Friday. And be well. Be well. And don't let anyone get it to you today. There's some crazy people on the road. Later.